What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play Hyrule Warriors. In the last episode, we completed the second scenario, Elden Caves, and in this episode, well, we're moving right along to Faron Woods. Now, it is recommended that we play as Link for this level, but instead, I'm going to play as Shiek because she's new. Unfortunately, her harp does not have an element that will be beneficial to us in this level, but we should be fine regardless.
Link and his allies were saved from the dangers of the Elden Caves by a mysterious youth named Shiek. Joined by their new ally, Impa's troops exited the caves and emerged in Faron Woods. There, they found a hidden village overrun with monsters. While Link and Impa wanted to continue their search for Zelda, they could not ignore the plight of the villagers. Without hesitation, they sprang into battle.
Alright, and again, we don't need to mess with any of these, so let's just start the battle. I'm actually really excited for this level, and you'll find out why in just a moment. Check it out! It's a new character specifically for this game, Lana. We don't know a lot about her now, but I'm sure as the story progresses, we'll find out more. You! Are you the one leading these warriors? Seems that way. Yes, I am. You can use magic. Where did you learn your craft? Oh, well, I'm a sorceress. You know the one who started this war, Sia? We come from the same magical clan. Ah, well that explains it. And what does this Sia want from Hyrule? You really want to know? Well, help me defend the forest. If you do that, I might tell you. And my gosh, does Impa's expression say it all? I feel the exact same way, but these people do need our help, so let's lend them a hand. Now, right off the bat, one thing that I think you should know in this level, that center keep with the flag in it, that is more or less your base. Now, throughout the course of this level, things are going to attack that, and if you let it fall into enemy hands at any point, you will immediately lose this scenario. So if anything even gets near that thing, I would recommend just dropping what you're doing and trying to save it as fast as you can. Now this level does start out a little bit differently. As you can see, some Deku Bombas have appeared. Now we can't actually kill them with our current equipment, so let's head back here and check it out. There's a chest, and inside we're gonna get something very special. One of my favorite weapons from any Zelda game, the bow and arrow. Although it does work a little bit differently in this game. Alright, so now that we got these, and yes, you can use the D-pad to change items, because you do carry them over, but what we want to do now is take our new arrows and take out these Deku Babas. Now, that seems easy enough, but I promise you, it can actually be a little tricky just because L targeting, it doesn't always lock on to the right thing, as I've said before. Like, for the most part in this level, it will always lock on to the Deku Babas, but occasionally, I've had it lock on to just, like, a worthless minion, and I'm not really sure how it, like, judges what you want to lock on. Like, I assume it automatically picks, like, the largest target if you're close enough, so maybe I just, like, wasn't close enough to the Deku Baba, so I guess that might have been my own fault. Anyways, though, let's talk about Shiek for a little bit. Obviously, as you can tell, she is very fast-paced, and her special attack is pretty dang cool. It reminds me a lot of, like, the harp playing segments from Skyward Sword. But back to what I was saying before, along with being fast, Shiek is very much, like, up in your face, and that can be really helpful, and also kind of dangerous in, like, hordes of harder enemies, but for the most part, it works out pretty dang well. Although I will say this, Shiek has some really weird combos, and I don't think I fully understand them. Like this one right here, like I don't even know how I did that, but upon completion of that combo, you get that sort of weird wind slash like water aura around you. And honestly, I have no idea what this does. Like if any of you guys know what this does, please let me know in the comments down below. As far as I can tell, it does negate some of the damage that you would normally take. Although, like I said, I really have no idea. Anyways, what do you say we get back to work on these Deku Babas, considering that is actually our mission at hand? I've sort of just been ignoring that and you know, capturing keeps like I normally would. Let's get that outpost captain out of here. Also, yeah, like, that water thing is really awesome as well. It's a giant area of effect attack. Really, really useful. At the end of it, it sometimes does leave enemies with, like, a weird water orb on their face. And I'm not really sure what that does either. So I'm still, like, learning the ins and outs of this game, as you guys can tell. But now that all those Deku Babas are gone, we can finally continue progressing through this level. And hey, check it out, a new keep opened up. What do you say we take this for ourselves? Oh, there's also a new enemy in this area too. So that weird, like, mummy looking thing, that is actually a Gibdo in this game. I know, when I first saw it, I actually thought it was a Re-Dead, but nope, it's a Gibdo. That also explains why, like, fire is the recommended element for this stage, because, you know, like in any Zelda game, Gibdos are always weak to fire. Now, Gibdos attack very strangely in this game. They have this weird sort of, like, area of effect thing, and then after they finish that, it opens up their weak spot, and if you're fast enough, you can do, like, 3 attacks, and that's all you need to pull off, like, an execute. Ooh, I actually might be able to do it here. Come on. Ooh, I got one of them. Sweet. Actually, I think I got both of them because it's sort of like an area of effect, although, yeah, it only did max damage to actually one of those, but, whatever. Let's just finish taking these guys out. Get out of here, Gibdos. You're all creepy and ugly. No one wants you here. I think they're actually, like, the hardest enemies that we've faced so far, although I imagine they would go down a lot quicker if I was playing as Link with the fire element sword, but, whatever. Alright, so basically right now we really don't have any pressing matters to take care of, so we can pretty much do whatever we want, although I don't think we can go to the top half of the map just yet. I think that is still locked off, which doesn't really matter for me because I actually want to go towards the bottom right section of the map, since I know there's actually a chest that contains an item that I would like to pick up, although of course along the way I'm going to capture any outposts and keeps that we can, just because, you know, why the heck not? We'll further expand our influence while we're fighting here. Oh, and of course, as soon as I say that, the Gibdos are advancing towards the Great Deku Tree. Oh, by the way, have I mentioned, yeah, we're fighting on top of the Great Deku Tree. That's kind of an important detail. I might have overlooked that. My bad. Sorry about that. Ah, man. I don't know what I want to do now, because I definitely want to stop those Gibdos ASAP, because if they get inside the Deku Tree, they might start to overtake it, and that would be terrible. But at the same time, I really need to get, like, this item now, because if I don't think I'm going to have really a good time to get it later on, just because the Gibdos are, like, the least threatening of all the things that are going to attack the Deku Tree, and I know as soon as I defeat them, a more serious threat is going to occur, so I don't really think I'm going to have a better option. You know what? I think I'm just going to, like, try and take as many keeps as I can, and since I know there are a few Gibdos, like, right outside of this keep, I'll try and take those guys out, and hopefully Lana and Link will take care of the other one that is advancing, and I'll be left to, you know, just gather the item that I want. And, you know, that's another thing about this game that I like a lot. There is a ton of strategy involved. And you might not think so, like, you know, just by looking at it. But if you know what the enemy objectives are and what your objectives are, there's, like, a lot of micro and macro managing that you need to take into consideration to make sure that you have enough time to accomplish what you want to accomplish while causing minimal casualties to the rest of your team and making sure you don't fail the mission. So it's kind of refreshing, honestly. It makes you really think, and instead of just, like, you know, smashing your face against a controller, you gotta think, alright, can I do this now? And if I do this now, what are going to be the consequences to the rest of my forces and stuff like that? It's pretty dang cool. Alright, so now those Gibdos are gone. You know what? Should I take this keep now, or should I just go directly for the item? I'll just use my special here, and then I think I'll run for the item, and then if I have time, I'll take this keep on the way back through it, because it's almost gone now, so I might as well. Anyways, the reason why I came down here is because all the way on the bottom, just like how there was on the other side, there is, well, hang on, there's a rock first. Let me blow this up. But there's a chest, and inside the chest is the item that I've been building up all this time. It's not as cool as the bow and arrow, but it is actually a heart container, so still incredibly useful to us. Alright, so now that we've got that, that's actually all the major items in this stage. All we really need to worry about now is getting the Skulltula. And since we haven't actually killed 1,000 enemies yet, we probably won't need to worry about that for a while. I'm actually going to go and take this keep real quick. And, oh crap, the Gibdo's actually already made it back to the center of the Deku Tree. That's actually not good. But this guy should go down pretty quickly, so we'll get out of here ASAP. Alright, so now let's run directly back to the center of the Deku Tree. Thankfully, the Gibdos, they don't do like a ton of damage, so I doubt they've taken over too much of the Deku Tree area. But I don't believe this actually does like respawn, so whatever damage they do deal will stay there. Thankfully, they didn't do too much. I'm just going to try and quickly take these guys out as fast as I can. There we go, got the execute. That guy's out of here. We also leveled up. That is pretty dang awesome. This guy's already half dead anyway, so these guys did a pretty good job even without me. Alright, get out of here, Gibdo. Sweet. So that is done, and the Deku Tree did not suffer that much, so I'm actually pretty happy about that. Now, I'm sort of going to hang out in this area just because I know what's going to happen next, so I guess that does give me a little bit of an advantage, but the next threat to the Deku Tree sort of revolves around this area of the map, and it's something that you do want to take care of as quickly as possible, because if you don't, yeah, it poses a real problem. Wizro literally sets fire to the Great Deku Tree, like, the nerve of that guy. So while the Deku Tree is on fire, it pretty much acts like someone is taking over that keep. So if we don't do something about it, we could end up losing that keep, which would mean we fail this mission. Oh, and crap too, I just noticed that we're really close to 1,000 KOs. Normally I'd be pretty happy about that, but dang it, the Deku Tree really needs to be my priority, but at the same time, I cannot risk losing that Skulltula, so I have to make a decision here. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I think honestly my only choice is going for the Skulltula. So hopefully I can rack up the remaining enemies that I need to get to 1,000 before this next keep opens. That way I don't waste too much time. So come on, let's just lead a group of enemies around me. And alright, let's see if I can just quickly take all these guys out, and hopefully this will put me over 1,000. Please. Dang it, the keep already opened up. Alright, whatever. I can quickly just use my special to get over 1,000. And then I just really have to like book it to the Skulltula, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to do both of these things. So the Skulltula, of course, is actually on the opposite side of the map. So I am just going to run over there super quickly. Yeah, as you can tell, like the little meter is slowly going down. But trust me, that adds up after a while, so I really do not want to waste any time. Thankfully, I know exactly where the Skulltula is. It's actually right under this rock. So let's blow this up real quick. And there we go. Alright, so we got that illustration piece, and we are good to go. Now, let's take care of the Deku Tree, considering that is a very pressing matter. I'm already a little upset that I wasted just a little bit of time getting that gold Skulltula, but it honestly was just a little more important. Don't worry, guys. I'm doing the best I can. I'm going to run over there, and we're going to save the Great Deku Tree. And gosh dang it, dark forces are infiltrating too. That definitely does not help things out. Hopefully they can just hold off a little bit longer. All we got to do is defeat this Gibdo right in front of the Great Fairies Fountain, and then hopefully she'll help us put out the flames around the Deku Tree. So come on, Gibdo, you really need to die. Maybe I can get like the execute after this attack. Ooh, did I? Dang it, I thought I got it. Whatever, he's dead now anyway, so that should be all we need to do. Now, we just need to go inside the Great Fairies Fountain and call upon her power. I like how there's like a cuckoo off to the side too. By the way, do not attack that. I tried it on my practice file. Not a good idea. It causes a lot of commotion. Anyways, Great Fairy, come on now. There we go. I guess it took a while just to like load the cutscene or whatever. But hello, Great Fairy, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? We really need your help, considering the giant tree is on fire. That's kind of a problem. Oh, man. Thankfully, though, the Great Fairy and her fairy minions have our backs, and they can literally move clouds. Oh man, this is like so crazy, but they cause a giant rainstorm, so there we go. That'll put out the flames of the Deku Tree, although it's still smoldering, so that just stopped the immediate problem. Like, there's still burning going on, and a flame could reignite, but I appreciate the help regardless. So there we go, that takes care of the immediate threat. And yes, we can continue fighting, Hylian Captain. That's a good idea. I'm gonna go back and take over this keep now, considering I had to sort of like bypass it just to make sure I went to the Great Fairy's Fountain first, but now I am free to capture it and make it mine once more. This also gives us access, I believe, to the newer areas of the map, because if you've noticed, the two keeps in the upper left, yeah, we haven't actually been able to go over there yet, but thankfully the path is now opened, and actually we are getting close to the end of this stage. Like, all things considered, it's kind of short, and I'm sure like you can do it a lot faster if you optimize your route like a lot better than I did, and if you skip going for, you know, some of the items in the Skulltula. But all things considered, I think we did this pretty quickly. Alright, so our main objective now is to defeat Wizrow. What's the fastest way over there? I think, yeah, I can go through here, right? I think all I have to do now is actually just capture these two remaining keeps, and then we can take on the boss of this stage. I'm actually pretty dang excited for the boss, because it's really, really fun. Like, all the bosses that I've played so far in this game have been pretty dang interesting. Anyways, you know what? Let's go ahead and use our Focus Spear just so we can clear this keep as fast as we can. Now, my gosh, I do want to say this, and I'm not sure if I've actually mentioned it already or not, but like, the freaking music in this game is incredible. Like, I have no idea who mixed all the tracks together, but like, the main menu theme of this game is even one of like the best things ever, because it mixes like 3 or 4 different Zelda tunes together, and if you didn't know like they were from different games, you would just think it's one track, and it just flows perfectly. And it's the same thing for all like these stage you know, tracks as well. They just flow so incredibly well and just sound amazing. Anyways, let's open up this chest. I believe this one just contains some rupees, so not really that big of a deal, but it is nice to have regardless. And now there is only one more keep standing in our way, and I think I see Wizrow's name tag off in the distance. Let me take over this outpost real quick though, just so we have the extra support. And now, what do you say we give Wizrow his just desserts? Get over here, man. Aw, he fled the battlefield. So yeah, unfortunately we don't actually get to fight Wizrow as the boss of the stage, but trust me, the actual boss is equally as cool, and I think you guys will like it a lot. Anyways, let me take out my arrows, because spoilers, the boss of this area is weak to the item that you get in this area. Who would have guessed that? Anyways, check it out. Oh man, here it is. Guess what? It's Goma. Oh my gosh, when I first saw this, I was like, are you kidding me? And then I was really, really happy, because Goma looks awesome, and the fight is pretty dang epic, I will say that. So basically what you want to do is wait until Goma's eye is blue, shoot an arrow at him, and then just go in for the attacks. Now, you want to be quick about this too, because if you miss a few of the attacks while you're in this keep, Goma will actually jump and go directly to the center of the Deku Tree. And when Goma's in there, when it does any attack that damages any of the Hylian troops in that area, it actually takes away from the, you know, capture bar for that keep. And if Goma does that a lot, you can actually lose the mission right at the end, because just too many Hylian troops will have died, and you would have lost control of that keep. And wow, that actually worked. I hit like Goma's claw, so I'm actually surprised that worked. And ooh, oh yeah, we got it. Sweet, there we go. Let's see how much damage this does. I thought for a second there we missed that, but dang. Alright, so he is just below half HP now, and he hasn't jumped yet, so that is definitely good for us. Hopefully we can keep Mio the entire time. That would be fantastic. Yeah, you can just like jump or dodge to avoid his laser, so it's pretty dang easy. But let's start going in again at this guy. Thankfully his weak gauge Usually you can get it down in like 2 turns. So it's already half down. And one more arrow, and hopefully we should be able to break his weak point gauge and then just completely destroy this guy. Alright, there we go. This might be the final attack. Come on. Just a little bit more. Honestly, I wish there was like no cooldown between attacks, but I think regardless... Oh, dang it, we missed it. I thought we had it there for a second, man. Gosh dang it. Oh well, one more arrow should do this, provided he doesn't jump to like the next area, but he hasn't, so that is good for us. Look at that weak point meter, my gosh. But there we go. This should do it. Ah, dang, that had to hurt, man. Imagine just getting stabbed in the eyeball with 2 giant knives. But there we go. We defeated Goma, and we got ourselves a new weapon. Cool. Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you, Proxy. We took down that huge spider. I agree, man. A solid win for us. I hoped Zelda would be here. Apparently that hope was in vain. Oh man, Impa looks so down. I feel kind of bad. Where could she be? Is she safe? May the goddess protect her. Don't be so sad, Impa. We did good work today. We saved a lot of people.
For generations, Hyruleans have told the tale of the war across the ages. This is how it begins. Deep in the forests, far from mortal eyes, a great sorceress watched over the balance of the Triforce. Through her magic, she could see across ages, able to read the fates of all who lived, but never interfering. That is, until a unique soul caught her attention. The soul of the hero of legend, eternally reborn when Hyrule's need is greatest. Through her powers, the sorceress should have seen that the hero was bound to another. Instead, she saw only a soul that was unlike any she had known. And while the sorceress was preoccupied, a fragment of darkness, locked in its prison, saw an opportunity. The whispering darkness wormed its way into her heart. It pushed the light away and warped her curiosity into a desperate desire to possess the legendary hero's soul. Of course, this evil had its own desires. To use the Triforce to resurrect itself and conquer Hyrule once again. Having pushed the light from her heart, the darkness compelled her to open the Gate of Souls, the doorway of time itself. Monsters from across the ages pour through the gate, bringing ruin to the land of Hyrule once more.
Well, wasn't that just an interesting piece of backstory? But there we go, there's our ending stats. Got a lot of rupees, that's kind of nice. Ooh, and a new weapon with Fire Plus, cool. And plenty of materials, nice. Ooh, let's see what we got for the illustration piece. Looks like a bit of Lana's skirt and a little bit of Link's tunic, actually. And of course, yes, we unlocked Lana. And to go with that, her weapon, nice. What else did we get? I think that's it, actually. Alright, so I guess that is going to do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.